Well, howdy doody, ladies and gentlemen. Todd Falcone here. Welcome to another blog post. This one might be a little lengthy, but very, very worth listening to. And I don't want you to think that all I'm doing on my blog posts is ranting and raving, although I do quite a bit of that. But and I think I do think that because I am. Forget it. Just erase what I just said. But here's the deal. Today I want to talk about the whole issue of bonus volume versus commissionable volume and how companies operate, and it's just it's a subject that kind of irritates me, and it should irritate you as well, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback on it. But there are a lot of network marketing companies out there. I mean, here's the deal. You have a product, for example. I'll use even numbers just to make things easier so you understand what I'm talking about. And this is a practice that I don't like. Here's the deal. I'm a distributor at heart. Okay, that's I've never owned a network marketing company. I've never been employed by one. I've been a distributor in the field building a business for network marketing companies, just like probably what you're doing right now. And there's a practice, this whole thing about comp plans and how much comp plans pay out and breakage in comp plans and how much is really being paid out. And let me give you some statistics first of all. If you're in a product-oriented company, a product-based company, for example, not a service but a physical product that they're shipping, let's say it's shampoo or skincare, or pills or whatever, nutrients, whatever it might be, whatever format it is, the company has costs obviously associated with that. And let's say that their comp plan says, we pay out 50 cents on every dollar. So that means if $100 comes into the company, let's say an auto ship in this case is $100. If $100 comes into the company, that means that 50 cents or $50 is actually paid back to the distributor force, and the other $50 goes to the company. Well, what's the company use that for? Well, they use that to, they've got cost of, their products, cost of manufacturing costs. They've got employees, so they've got, different costs associated with running a business. And in terms of gross profit margin, and it's going to vary, and I don't want to get too far into this, but in terms of gross profit margin, if a company was paying out 50%, legitimately paying out 50%, by the way, just so you know, there's a lot of companies that say they're paying out 50% of their profits, or they say this is what the payout is, but if you were to actually look at what real payout is to the distributor force, a lot of the times it's not even close to that. Now, it's not necessarily, I'll just leave it there, but it is what it is. I mean, they may say, well, we pay out 50%, but, actual payout ends up being 30%. So what happens to that other 20%? If it doesn't get paid out to the distributor force, it goes back into the company's, in the company owner's hands. So, let's say you have a company, for example, that's doing $100 million in sales. $100 million in sales, and they're paying out 50% of that. That means $50 million is paid out to the distributor force. That means the company has $50 million for that year to work with in terms of paying their employees and manufacturing costs and blah, 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 blah. And by the time all is said and done, gross profit margin could be between maybe 15 and 20%. So let's say it's 20%. So 20% of 50 million is 10 million. That means that the company made 10 million bucks as in terms of profit, in terms of net profit that company makes for the year, which is great. And we all want to have a company that is profitable. Here's the thing that really pisses me off, and it should piss you off too. And if you're a company owner, I'd love to see you respond to this. I'd love to hear any kind of real, true rationale behind the whole BV/CV thing, and to help you guys understand what that is. When you buy a product, there's, let's say the product costs, a case of something costs you 125 bucks. Then you have tax and shipping, so maybe your total cost to get that product to your house, drop ship to your house, is $150 just for sake. So you have 150 real dollars that are going out to buy that case of whatever that product is. The company, the price point on the product was 125. But what happens, a lot of companies do this, is they treat it like it was 100. So they have this BV/CV deal, or personal volume or business volume, and then CV, which is commissionable volume. And what that is what they're actually commissioning you on. So I will tell you this. There are a lot of companies that do it. And what does that mean exactly? Well, you know, it means that okay, you got a box of protein bars, for example, and you know, you pay wholesale $24 for the protein bars, and then what the company does is they commission you as if it was 15, for example. And I'm just using examples. I'm not going to name any companies, but there are just a lot of companies that do this, and that really pisses me off and it should piss you off too, because as the distributor that's bringing these people to the table, it's you're bringing. I mean, so imagine this. Imagine you create an organization that's doing $100 million a year in sales. That's your group. I mean, that would obviously be a big group. You got an organization that's doing $100 million in sales, and they're taking an extra $25 off the top. Where does that go? That $25, it's not like, oh, it just disappears. It goes right in. That's a way for a company owner to pad their pockets even further. I would love to know how is it that if you're a company doing $100 million in sales, and okay, let's say even you're doing $100 million a year in sales, and your comp plan maxes out at paying out 40%, so $40 million gets paid out to the distributor force. You now have $60 million a year to work with. Why would you have to do a BVCV deal? Years ago, I left a company and ended up selling my organization because, you know, my customers were spending $175 a month, and the unit amount, the cost of the product was like $135, but then they treated it like it was $100. So that $35, which I should have been commissioned, and as well as everybody else in the upline who was qualified to get that money, should have been commissioned on that extra $35. But no, the company takes it, and to me that's just not fair. And I love network marketing. I spent 20 years in this profession. Every day of my life, I eat, breathe, drink, and sleep MLM, network marketing. That's what I do. But there's, now, not all companies do this, but there are certainly a lot of them that do. And I'm not saying leave your company if they do it, but I mean, that'd be something to be aware of and go, why is it that, you're paying X amount of dollars and half of it, 50% of it is commissionable? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. If you're a company owner, I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. If you're a distributor and you have thoughts on this subject, please feel free to comment on the blog. But it's just one of those things that just kind of it's nagging, man. It's a thorn in my side, and I've never really liked that practice. I mean, I can swallow, the fact that it's, the cost of the product is $17.65, and they treat it as maybe they round it down a few bucks to 15. I could probably handle that. Their company's still taking the extra $2.26, whatever. But when you have like big differences like that, man, that ain't cool. I don't know. Give me your thoughts. We'll see you on another blog post. Decided to come in disguise today. I'm hiding myself. No, it's just a little chilly in the office. We'll see you. Thanks for listening. Bye.